Órale. Cholo Trucker here, Los Tres Chingones Boxing. Shout outs to all the chingones and chingonas, man. Let's see if we can do this right here. You know what? Last time I was on, I didn't realize my the sound was pretty jacked up. So if my sound is good, let me know. If not, so I can see if I got to make some adjustments, Holmes, because the last time I was on here, yeah, the sound was a little jacked up, and I had no idea. But hopefully, it's all good. Anyway, hey, what's up, Andres? Um, anyways, man, shout outs to my carnales in crime, David Contreras and Mike Zavala. They will be back next week, taking a nice little vacation, homie. So, gracias, Andres. They're taking a nice little vacation, just like I said they were. So am I, to a certain extent. I just said I'll be here and there. No real schedule set. So, but obviously we got some things going down in the sport of boxing, homie, and it's a little upsetting because you know I was kind of looking forward to some of this stuff, just like I was looking forward to Valdez versus Navarrete. We found out about about 2 weeks ago, Holmes, that fight was not happening. That fight was supposed to take place, I believe, in the very beginning of February. Navarrete versus Oscar Valdez, and Valdez ended up getting injured. So now Navarrete still has a fight going on, I believe, with shoot, what the heck's that Vato's name? He doesn't have a lot of fights. I forgot his name, man. I think he only has like 11, 12 fights, man. So should be good work for Navarrete, I guess, man. But man, well, we're just finding out. What's up, G Funky? Um, so again, as you guys have heard, thanks for working with me and supporting me. Hey, of course, Carnal, of course, big dog. No problem, moms. You guys check out my boy G Funky. Um, we'll save the tank thing. We'll get to that in a few minutes, man. One thing that we did not touch on is, man, the upsetting news, man, of Jermell Charlo and Tim Tszyu, which I was really looking forward to. 154-pound King Jermell Charlo going up against Tim Tszyu, who I give a really good chance in that fight, right? However, I'm sure you guys have heard by now. If you haven't, let me go ahead and tell you guys. Apparently, Jermell Charlo has broken his I don't know if it's his hand, his wrist, something. He's broken something. He's shown pictures with his cast on that's covering his hand, his wrist down to his forearm. And I guess early reports were, I'm not gonna say were unbelievable, because he said he was injured and there was that, but I guess there was a lot of people that were coming out saying like, hey, he just wants out of the fight. He just doesn't want to fight, with little to no evidence to really prove him wrong. At least nothing that I had seen. There was no reason for me not to believe Jermell Charlo. But again, it's a sport of boxing. There's a lot of haters out there, just like there's a lot of fanboys. There's also a lot of haters, man, that just will never believe anything, regardless, right? In my opinion, look, for me personally, I didn't need to see any evidence. But one of the sanctioning bodies obviously came out and said, listen, you need to show some proof, man, which I'm not against. If I'm going to be real, homie, I'm not against it. I'm not against having to show proof that you were actually injured. Now, what does being injured actually mean, right? Because I don't want this to get too far. I mean, if you sprain your wrist, should that go down as an injury? Does it need to be a broken bone? Does it need to be something severe? I mean, if you're hurt, let's say you pull a muscle, and it's like, well, hey man, that messes with my mobility, homie. I don't want to get in there. Is that a severe enough injury to step out of the fight? I mean, that's kind of what it goes down to now. I mean, if you're just going to get, I guess what you would say a doctor's notice, right? I remember being sick or something from school, and you would have to come in with a doctor's notice, or you'd have to show proof if you're sick, like over 3 days or something like that. I think some companies, some jobs still do that. But now what counts as an injury, though? Just having back spasms, and now we're really going to start splitting hairs if that's going to be a necessity there for people to call off fights. Like, well, this counts as an injury, but now this doesn't. I mean, look, could it just be like, hey, look, man, I don't feel good. Or I got the flu. And it messed up with the, last 2 weeks of my training or whatever it may be. I can't train right. This cuts in too much into my training. So, very disappointing news to hear that this fight's not happening. I was hearing somebody out talking about that they don't believe that Jermell-Tszyu is coming back at all. And look, while that may be the case probably for Jermell-Tszyu, which again, I'm not signing off on any of these things. Does Jermell-Tszyu come back? Yeah, I think he does. Look, I think Jermell-Tszyu comes back at some point. He's got to make some sort of income. I'm not really sure what they do outside of the ring. To the best of my knowledge, look, man, I'm not really a follower on social media, so I don't really know what these dudes are doing outside of the ring. So I don't know if they got any income coming in outside of the ring, or if they're just living off the income that they've been making in the ring, boxing, or any small endorsements that they've got. That is true. That is true, man. And while I do think Anthony Yard, I do think I'm not going to say it's going to be easy work for Better BF, but I think Anthony Yard, I was going to say stands a chance. I'm trying to I'm trying to sit here and try to see what's the best chance I can give him. Look, I think it'll be a good fight. But I just think I got Better BF, man. I think it's Better BF all the way, man. Not to say that Anthony Yard will not have his moments. I truly believe he's going to have his moments. And I think he's going to have moments where he's going to make people believe, man. You got to believe if you want to achieve, Holmes, right? I think he'll have a few good moments, man, where he'll have people believing, like, yeah, okay, hey, that's a Yard round. I think he can, stack on a few more of those rounds and possibly win the fight. But no, man, he'll have some of his moments, and they'll be good. Could be tricky rounds. That's kind of what I'm saying. G Funky, that's kind of what I'm alluding to. I think he's gonna have some of those good moments, some of those tricky rounds and all. But ultimately, I got Better BF, man, just all the way on this one, man. Not to say that it'll be a complete shutout. I think Yard does scratch off 2-3 rounds, maybe 4 at best, but that's about it, man. But getting back to this, this kind of freezes out Tim Tszyu. Not knowing now, if you're part of Tim Tszyu's corner there, if you're part of his team, now what do you do? Do you go into another fight? How long is Jermell-Tszyu going to be out? Because now do you put Tim Tszyu in another fight? Possibly he gets hurt or loses, right? I wouldn't, if I were part of his team, obviously you're going to be putting him up against, tomato cans. You're not going to risk the possibility of him losing. At the same time as boxing, right? All it takes is, hey, man, you zigged when you should have zagged and you got caught. Or possibly getting injured. Somebody could just come in with the crown of his head and boom, dog, bust that eye open. Could break your wrist. There's a few things that can happen. You shouldn't live life with what ifs, right? But at the same time, you got this good opportunity. However, you got no idea what's going to happen with Jermell-Tszyu. There's zero idea. These dudes don't tend to fight, man. These guys tend to fight once a year. And while I do have respect for Jermell-Tszyu for, unifying at 154, I'm going to be honest, man. I really just have respect for him because I always tend to compare him to his punk-ass brother. That's just being honest, Holmes. I mean, they're twin brothers. It's kind of hard not to compare them. And because his punk-ass brother, Jamal, did not fight at all this year, and the last fight he was in was against somebody who, Montiel, was no big victory. So thus I compare the two, and I'm like, well, Jermell's the better of the two. Definitely accomplished more. All that being said, man, how much is Jermell really doing? Yes, he unified. Got it. How much longer do you ride that? How much longer do you ride that wave before it's, hey, man, it's time to start paddling back out to sea, homie. This wave has kind of died off. At some point, you got to get back into the ring. If you want to be great, you got to stay great. I get it. It's the 4-belt era. There's a lot of people that put a lot of stock into unifying all the belts. I personally, myself, I put some stock, but I don't put all the stock on there. Why? Because you got to see where all the belts are at. There's a lot of politics, and you guys know that already. A lot of different promotions. There's a lot of talk of, man, across the street, Holmes, to unify these belts. So to me, it's pretty much what situation are you in? I'm not saying I don't put any stock in it, because I do. But some people put all the stock in it, and it's like, okay, I'm not going to argue against that. However, once somebody completes that, now what? Is that it? Because since Jermell-Tszyu has done that against Castaño, what's going on with them? Do people still consider him great? Because they're going to just every time revert back to the fact that he unified all the belts? So this was gonna be pretty good, man. I was really looking forward to this. I really was. But we will see what happens with Jermell Charlo. Tim Tszyu, again, it's very interesting. Very interesting to see what Tim Tszyu is gonna do. You want to keep him busy. At the same time, you got a golden ticket to the king at 154 pounds. However, that's up in the air because you have no idea what he's going to do, how long he's out for. So how long do you put your career on hold? Oh, man. Very interesting to see what Tim Tszyu does. All right, guys, let's go ahead and let's get into pretty much the big story here, homie. Again, I want to give a shout out to Mike Zavala, David Contreras. They will be back next week. They are taking a vacation, as am I, but I'm still somewhat recovering from being hit by a car while I was cycling. So here I am, Holmes. You ain't getting rid of me. No vacation for me. But, orale, dog, let's get into Tank Davis. Okay. All right. And I did want to jump on here yesterday, but I'm like, you know what? Let me take my time. Let more come out from this. You know, we live in a time where everybody wants to be first. Everybody, you know, wants to get all the views. Everybody wants to be, you know what? You heard it here first. I like to let some time just pass by, man. Let some of the smoke clear up. So since then, right? He was arrested for domestic violence. And if you guys don't know, there is a recording out there that I heard it. I listened to it. A recording of the 911 call, man, of his baby's mom that she's in trouble and that he's gonna kill her and send the cops. But it was kind of strange because, you know, the operator is asking where, you know, give me the address. Where are you? And I do understand when somebody is in panic mode, they're not really listening. They can't really respond with accuracy. So I do understand that. Tank Davis also put up a picture of him that he got spat on or something like that by her. So, hey, what's up, tacos and workouts? Dos Matador. ¿Qué huele? Tacos and workouts. We're talking about Gervonta Tank Davis. So that's out there. If you guys want to go listen to that, to the 911 call, it's a little tough to listen to. It really is, man. Kind of gets you a little upset because the operator's like, okay, where are you? And she's just saying, just send the cops, send the cops. He's going to kill me. He's crazy. Send the cops. And operators, okay, ma'am, where? Who are you talking about? And where are you? And she's just screaming, dog. But anyway, Tank Davis has a fight coming up against Hector Luis Garcia, which I think that's a pretty damn good fight. I was on last week talking about Ryan Garcia is choosing not to have a tune-up fight. So he was just going to wait for the Tank Davis fight, should that fight even take place. But now with this, now we don't know, man. It's still kind of up in the air. I've been looking, I've been researching. What's up, Raider? I've been looking, I've been researching, I've been trying to get the latest news on, is this fight between Tank Davis and Hector Garcia, is this fight still going on? I have not seen anything that this fight is being postponed or it's canceled. So as of right now, to the best of my knowledge, this fight is still going on. Could that change tomorrow? Could that change later today, over the weekend? Yeah, I'm sure it can. But this fight is being built up as a pay-per-view, which I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys this. I have not seen much promotion. I have not seen much advertisement for this fight. Now, in the undercard of this fight, you also got Demetrius Boo Boo Andre. You also have Jerome Boots Ennis. So I wouldn't even mind, dog, if they go ahead and they cancel the main event and they just have it on just regular Showtime, dog. Just so I could see Boots Ennis. But going back to Tank Davis, look, man, he's had his run-ins with the law. All right. We all know that. And this is not the first time where it's domestic violence. There's that video out there. Everybody knows it. Everyone's been talking about it. Where he's, choking out. I don't know how many baby mamas he has. I don't know if he has 2 or if he has more than that. But apparently he's put hands on one of them. This is the other one where again, that call is it's very hard to listen to, but what's up, crazy man Chunky? Or Chucky. He has 2. He has 2 baby mamas. Okay. So now that's, the problem with this is, Holmes, look, here's the problem, right? This is why you got to make sure you're in control of yourself, man. Keep your emotions intact, okay? Because once you do something, when you're accused of it again, it's pretty hard for people not to believe it. And that's just the way life works. If you got a track record and you're accused, especially of that same thing again, in this case, it's domestic violence, then it's very, very believable to the masses. So I know he's coming out. He's saying that, hey, man, he didn't do it. It's false accusations. And look, I'm going to be, on the serio, homie, if we're going to be real, there are some scandalous ass hyenas out there. I'm not saying Tank is innocent. But I wasn't there. I know it's very easy for everybody to believe that Tank did do this. And if you ask me, yeah, I believe there's something is there. How far they go, that I can't tell you. But yeah, I believe there's something there. However, let's not mistake, dog, that, or let's not forget, man, there are some scandalous ass hyenas out there. There are some chicks that are like, hey, you know what? You already have a record on you for domestic violence. Shoot, I'm going to go ahead and say you hit me, or you did this, you did that. If I don't get my way, whatever my way is. Because that definitely can happen. I ain't saying till proven guilty. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm a felon. Right? So whenever anybody looks at my record, or just anybody that has a felony on them, a lot of people don't want to deal with you. Why? You got a record. You have proven that you can do this or that, which it looks like, which, people don't want to take a chance. And it's like, hey, you know what? When you're accused of doing this or that, people's mentality immediately goes to like, well, yeah, that's it. Because he's already proven that that's who he is. Los Matador looks like road rage. Tank accused Ryan of roiding up, takes a cheater to know a cheater. That is you know what, Los Matador, that is one thing, dog, that I wasn't really down with. I wasn't really down with Tank Davis already accusing Ryan Garcia of using roids. I don't know where that was coming from. Some people were under the impression that he was trying to duck Ryan Garcia by already coming up with an excuse of roids, and then Ryan Garcia comes out and he's trying to get VADA testing into the contract and all. I mean, look, man, if you guys don't know, let me just go ahead and tell you guys, man, there was no contract set yet. Things could have definitely gone wrong. Let me see. Comes from camp where all they test positive. They don't play that game. Well, listen. Ryan Garcia was definitely trying to put it into the contract where there was going to be VADA testing, which is all good and great and dandy. I dig that. However, now all that's in jeopardy because of this. And look, let me just go ahead and tell you guys this, man, okay? While we don't know whether Tank Davis really did this or not, we can believe it. That's fine. That's fine. I'm not gonna sit here and argue and say like, nah, Charlie, homie, he didn't do it, or yeah, he did do it. That's fine. If you want to believe it, that's fine. If you don't want to believe it, that's fine as well. I've came across some pretty damn scandalous hyenas myself, man, in my lifetime. Okay, there's a pattern behavior with Tank, and that's the thing, G Funky. That's my point. That's when somebody's got to check themselves, homie, and say, like, you know what? I don't want to be known as this. Thus, I got to change my behavior. I got to change the atmosphere that I put around me. I got to change who I hang out with. I got to change. You know what? I got to change my life and everything around my life. If I want people to take me serious, and I don't want people to know me as this, whatever this is, then you got to remove yourself from that. Now, I get it. You got kids with her. But if you know that she's this type of hyena, she's this type of psycho that will do something like this, then whenever she gets heated up, hey, homie, that's your time to go. That's your time to leave. That's your time to say, I cannot control her attitude, but I can control how I react right now. And how I react right now is I'm going to take off, man. I don't want to be around this situation. Even though I'm right and she's wrong, even though she's in the wrong. Because of the history I got, I can't be around this. So it's time for me to up and go and see if I can handle this situation another day. Maybe have to get lawyers involved. I don't know. Let me see. He knows Ryan Garcia is mentally weak. That's he's saying all that. Hey, that is true. Hey, crazy man, Chucky, that is true. Look, if you see that somebody is mentally weak, you know, Ryan Garcia came out saying he took a time off, man, because he's suffering from anxiety. Which, look, man, I'm not going to rag on anybody or anything like that. I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you guys this, Holmes. You know, when I was in my 20s or whatever, I didn't even know what anxiety meant. Nobody did. And if anybody were to ever say they were suffering from anxiety, dog, they will get slapped, homie. They will get clowned on, serio. But I mean, it's a different day. So I mean, if there's nothing illegal about that, dog. If you see that your opponent, which he should be thinking about Hector Garcia right now, not Ryan Garcia. But if you see that you could get into his head, hey, dog, get into his head. Let's see, Blaine Bryan. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Hey, what's up, Pete Town? Hola, Impala. Let me see. He has to make better decisions and choose better women if she provoked him. That's the thing, G Funky. That's the thing. Look, man, okay. I'm a felon, Holmes. Okay. And for anybody who has a felony, if you truly want to change your life around, talk to anybody who was or is a felon, I should say, that has turned their life around. You know you cannot be around certain things, certain individuals, especially if it's going to be a repeat offense. So if your felony is drugs, you know damn well not to be around drugs or anybody that deals with drugs, man. Whether they use, whether they sell, whatever it may be. Now, you might get caught up in something else, right? A gun charge or something like that. But to get caught up for the same thing, that's the issue here. Now, we know Tank Davis, man. He's had his running with the laws, right? We know the whole driving accident, the whole hit and run. But now this is the second time that somebody's pointing a finger at him saying domestic violence. So, man, again, did this really happen? Is he guilty? Don't know. There are some scandalous ass hyenas out there. But I will say this. His track record does not help him. It does not help him. It definitely makes a lot of people say, yup, I believe it, because he's done it before. Doesn't mean that he did do it, but damn it, Tank, you are drowning yourself, man. You're drowning your career and you're drowning your life. So, again, just to kind of finish this up, everything that I've been looking into today, right before I went live, as of right now, I cannot see or find anything that this fight between Tank Davis and Hector Garcia on January 7th, I can't find anything that it's off or postponed, canceled, anything like that. So that just leaves me to assume that this fight is still taking place. However, I do not see a lot of advertisement for this. And by the way, this is pay-per-view. And like I said, you do have Boots Ennis on the undercard. You do have Demetrius Boo Boo Andre making his PBC debut. I'm sure everybody is on the edge of their seat, just waiting to see Demetrius Boo Boo Andre, his PBC debut. Let me see. Stanky Hyenas hang out. Stanky dudes. Hey, Dos Matador, homie. That's the thing, big dog. That's the thing. And I'm not saying he did. I'm not saying he didn't. I'm saying I don't know. But his track record definitely doesn't help him. And it definitely helps everybody point at him and say, yup, he did do it. However, that's the company he keeps around him. So, hey, dog, you know what? When you're a man of his status, right? His popularity and all that stuff, homie, you really got to watch out, dog. You really got to watch out, man. Let me see. They canceled the pay per view with Rolly, had legal issues. Going to be hard to justify keeping the event on. Yeah, you know what? What G Funk is alluding to here is, if you guys remember, Tank Davis, when he fought Pitbull Cruz, he was actually supposed to be fighting Rolly Romero. Um, Eventually, he did fight Rolly Romero and knocked out Rolly, but before that, he was actually supposed to be fighting Rolly, and Rolly got caught up with, I believe, like sexual assault charge or something like that, which nothing came out of that, and Tank ended up fighting Pitbull. So yeah, I would say this, man. If you're gonna sell this pay-per-view, the only one that makes this pay-per-view, in my opinion, is Tank Davis. And that itself, man. I don't think Tank Davis is much of a pay-per-view guy without a good dancing partner. Like, if it were Tank versus Ryan Garcia and you want to sell that pay-per-view, hey, by all means. But this right here, you're losing the one and only pay-per-view star. But there are fighters in the undercard that I do want to watch. However, you cannot sell this pay-per-view. You cannot sell Boots Ennis as a pay-per-view star without a decent dance partner. You can't do that. You can't put Boo Boo Andre as a dance partner, even though he's somewhat of a notable name. These guys are, somewhat notable fighters, but you can't let the card go on and keep them pay-per-view. So I would say cancel the pay-per-view, not the card. Just cancel the fact that it's pay-per-view. This is Showtime pay-per-view, by the way. So it is PBC. Fox, I think, is done. Due to fighting another tune-up. Oh yeah. Definitely. That's all he fights. That's his whole career, man. Cancel the main event and put the rest. That's what okay. G Funky, that's what I'm saying. Forget the whole pay-per-view thing and just put the rest of the card on regular Showtime. Because believe it or not, you could get a good following for Jerome Boots Ennis. You can. Upcoming fighter, exciting to watch. You could get a pretty good following for him. So put the rest of the card on Showtime. If you're going to cancel, if you cannot have Tank Davis get in the ring, well, then that kills the pay-per-view. But it does not need to kill the rest of the card. You could put that sucker on regular pay-per-view. On regular Showtime, and we could go ahead and enjoy that, man. But as far as Tank versus Hector Garcia, I thought that was a pretty good fight. I know not too many people gave Hector Garcia much of a chance. I give him somewhat of a chance, but those scorecards are definitely going to be in Tank's favor. But yeah, we will see what happens. Again, just want to make it clear, as of right now, nothing seems to be canceled or postponed. So could definitely change as soon as I click off. Could change tomorrow, could change over the weekend. But we shall see. We'll be back next week. Well, I should say Mike Zavala and David Contreras. They'll be back next week. I will be back on here probably tomorrow. And we'll chop it up, man, just to see how what you guys thought of 2022, man. But with that, shouts to all the chingones, shouts to all the chingonas, Cholo Trucker, Los Tres Chingones Boxing. I'll catch you guys on the next round.